And there's numerous success stories of how businesses have done that. So I can share those success stories and how they've gotten the best out of the person with attitude as opposed to out of the person with a resume.
Hi to all those sales leaders and CEOs out there in the B2B sales world. Hey, I've got an exciting event coming up where we're going to talk about making peace, not war, on talent. And I've got 4 panelists that are going to share great insight into how to actually do something unique in attracting talent, particularly sales talent, into your world. And I'm delighted right now to speak to one of those panelists, Alex Opacic. Alex, how are you?
Good. Thank you. Doing well. No, mate, I'm pleased to be on here. So thank you for having me on.
Look, I'm really pleased that you're joining this panelist because you've got something really unique to share with us that I think sales leaders and CEOs are going to love and get a lot of value out of. Tell us about your story.
Essentially, in my former life, I was a professional basketball player for about 8 or 9 years. I struggled with transitioning out of sport, out of basketball when I retired due to 3 knee surgeries. I had no idea what to do and how to go about it and where to apply those high-performing habits from sport. And eventually I landed on B2B sales.
Okay.
And luckily enough, it was an ideal spot for me to transfer those high-performing habits that I gained from sport into B2B sales. And I started succeeding. That competitive nature, the drive, the motivation, the work ethic, the discipline that you gain from sport, I found transferred fantastically for me into sales. And I ended up working in B2B sales for about 9 years and was quite successful. And that's how I got to the idea of what I'm doing now, which is athlete to business. And we essentially are a recruitment agency which places former pro and elite athletes into B2B sales roles, just based on the success that obviously myself has had, and also a lot of the other athletes in sales that I've met throughout my career.
I've heard that a lot of athletes might be really professional, successful in their world, have a lot of difficulty transitioning out of that when they retire. Is that true?
Absolutely, yeah. And that's the whole other reason I started my business, is to bridge that gap, is to help athletes identify the skills and attributes that they've built in sport and where they can transfer those skills and attributes into. And the whole reason they struggle with that transition, kind of like I did, is like we have no idea where to go next. Where do I translate all that drive, that energy, that competitive spirit, that motivation? Where do I put that into now? And that's where they struggle.
And literally thousands and thousands of athletes retire every year. So it's a great pool of talent. So tell me, what value can you share in an event like we're running with sales leaders and CEOs?
Yeah, look, obviously we're in a massive candidate short market. It's hard to find sales talent, and there's a massive competition out there for sales talent. So the value that I can bring is to show sales leaders how to think outside the box when it comes to hiring sales talent. I don't want this to sound like a pitch to my business, hey, hire athletes. But there's been a lot of success stories where a lot of my clients have focused on hiring attitude, resilience, competitive drive, discipline, as opposed to focusing on sales experience. So I'll show sales leaders how to focus more on the attitude and the character of the person, as opposed to the resume, and how that leads to sales success. And there's numerous success stories of how businesses have done that. So I can share those success stories and how they've gotten the best out of the person with attitude, as opposed to out of the person with a resume. If that makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense. And for all those sales leaders and CEOs out there, you're going to get a lot of value out of this. The reason we called this event, Let's Make Peace, Not War, on talent, is that there's got to be other ways than just competing against everybody else with the existing talent out there. And so, of course, Alex brings some very unique thinking on how you can do that. Let's make peace, not war. let's attract really good talent without all fighting each other for the one pool of talent. So Alex, thank you very much. And I'm really looking forward to hearing you answer the questions of all the attendees at the next Sales Leader Forum breakfast.
No, thank you. I'm looking forward to it. Very, very excited about it.